You always have such a nice smile on here, Graham.
What are you doing, Black?
And Deechel sticking a Twinkie into her face.
And your mother like a Twinkie?
No, thank you. I might have an ice cream bar over at
I'd like a dish. Would you like a dish ice cream, Piggy? Why don't you dish me? I don't know. I know. Don't put it on my face.
Fred Myers is your brother, right?
No, my cousin. My
Oh,
double cousin.
That's right. He's the one whose house is gone now because of the express.
Our mothers were sisters and our fathers were brothers. Now, he died, you know, here this spring. Doves, come and eat them. That's fine.
Now, is one of these cousins you? Over here.
I'm the little fat one in the middle.
What number? Janice?
43, page 43. Is that what you want to know?
You're the fat one in the middle?
That's Freddie. I gotta have a closer. Yeah. Clara, my oldest sister. Julia Jasmine. Me.
Oh, you're the youngest one?
Isn't she cute? Oh,
Were you the youngest of all the cousins?
No. But the youngest on that picture, youngest of those cousins, my sister Esther that lives in Danvers, and that was Jasmine. That was Julia, and that was oh, I can't think of her first name. That's Olga. Now these Jasmines were my mother's first cousins.
Okay, so they're your seconds then, right?
First once we moved.
Okay. Oh, sure enough. Oh, Ron, can you get the hummingbird?
Yeah, put it up there. And there comes the goldfinch. That's better than your mother. I wonder if that'll show on a picture with that tree behind it.
Sure it will.
See, there he comes. The goldfinch, I think it just chased the goldfinch away. It did.
Are you getting it, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so glad it came for you to see.
I'm glad it came from the film.
That one is. That's Louise Meyer. She's living yet.
Look how tiny those little feet are.
And look how long its bill is. It's about as long as the rest of its body. That bill that goes way in there and gets that juice. That's how come the juice was down. The birds.
There he went.
There.
Girls.
Clarence.
Okay.
He was pretty young.
There are at least 2 to 1 girls in that group.
Well, that's Freddie and Louise, and there's Chester.
5 boys, and all the rest are girls.
There's Chester.
1, 2.
And I just can't place that one.
3, 4, 5.
There's 3 goldfishes, one on top, one in the middle, one on the
Look,
bottom.
Ronnie, get that.
2 males and 1 female. Now 1 of each.
That's in our window. Isn't that wonderful? Right in our window. Just great. And that is
Doris?
oh, Doris. Doris,
What page is that?
one of the Jasmines, page 42.
I'm sorry, 42.
That is, can't read my own writing there.
I think it does say Mary Jasmine. It looks like a J.
Yeah.
Something.
Doris, and that's
Or the
Doris.
Jane.
I think that was, I don't think that was her mother, I think that's her aunt. I have forgotten more than I thought I would. Rosie. Her name was Rosie Jasmine. That was her name, but she's not the mother of that Doris, who was. She was a school teacher that boarded with my folks, I think.
Was that car brand new when that picture was taken or something?
It looks like
looks
it.
like it's really...
Looks like it. If it ain't, and she never took it out. If it was raining, probably not, because in those days, if it rained, it was mud. See, that's downtown Bloomington, probably. I couldn't remember back that far. Well, you remember that Fern I talked to last night? That's her. School.
Page.
46. That's me.
Is that Fern Hamilton?
No, Fern Moore.
Or more, okay.
Brown. That's me.
Oh, wait, the lady we met at the end of the evening?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That came up behind me there.
And that's a picture of her?
Right here, yeah.
Front row, third from the left.
It's a school picture?
It's taken at Pickett School, yeah, when I was a kid. Now that guy there, he was always my boyfriend.
All 8 kids.
Pickett School, where was that?
Well, it's straight east of Uden. We're on the curve. That's Pickett School, where my Myers, one of the Myers, my cousins live. That's a Blue Jay, carrying on. And that's Lucille, Fern's sister. Two are sisters. And that's her brother, Glenn. And their older brother, he was already done school, I guess. Newbie.
What grade do you think you were in?
Oh, what do I look like? Same age as her.
5th, 6th,
Yeah.
4th, 5th, something
Longing
like that.
through
Probably
there.
just age.
Yeah. And that's Wilbur Arndt. And Sharp was his last name. Lyle Sharp. His wife just died. It was in the paper. They were missionaries. And that's another one Newby. Robert Newby. Helen Newby. I used to see her in town once in a while. I haven't seen her in a long time. And that's Glenn Moore, and it's his sons that was what this window's on. Oh, that's Lyle Sharp's sister, Mildred.
Who's the baby here in the next picture?
That's Earl Meyer. Earl and Freddie.
Okay. Were they brothers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ought to take that in there and show Earl. I bet he doesn't have that picture. Well, that's me at a birthday party. Marjorie
Yeah,
Bass.
these are not in order at all because you're older over here, obviously.
Yeah, I think they were just put together. They're all over the place. What page is that birthday party?
47. It's Billy Benzer's yard and birthday, I think.
Grammy's the child furthest on the right, the tallest child in the picture.
That's me. And that's Helen Basting and Marjorie Basting. And this was Billy Benzer's cousin, wasn't it? That baby that used to be at their house every once in a while. And I think that was a...
Did you know some of these folks when they were that age, Dad, or was it you guys lived?
Oh, you knew Marjorie and Helen.
Yeah, well,
And me.
yeah.
When you were
little?
kids?
Yes, we went to St. We was baptized at the same church.
What church
Not
was
the
that?
same day, Mennonite.
East Wide Open.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you were in Hudson and they were in Uten, huh?
No, we lived out north here.
They lived a lot of places up north around.
We moved away from Hudson when I was
This is that Jasmine family.
4 years old.
I don't know who he is. He don't belong in there, neither does he. Maybe they married some of them. I don't know. That's Aunt Julia and all the kids. And that's Miss Hayes, a school teacher. What her picture's doing in there.
Was she the school teacher at Pickett School?
No, at Belvedere, where I was in my 1st and 2nd grade. She was a teacher.
Where was
in my
Belvedere
first-
School?
Straight south of Uten, down there by the Bushis.
Oh, by the Bucci's. Mitsubushi's.
And that's my first cousin. They live in Florida. Carl Meyer. Say her name. Oh, Betty. Carl and Betty. And see, that's their son that lives next to Bernadine over there. Their grandson or no, their son. He's 90-some, I think. They still come up every year. And that's a preacher. Mrs. Harold, who? Rooser. Oh, I don't know who that is. I have to tear her out of here. There's a preacher that... Did he baptize you too? He baptized me.
There's, I remember a treasure hunt that I was on in 4-H where we went to the Reverend Emmanuel Troyer Cemetery. That's out there by where Charles used to live, right?
Yeah, but they don't call it that. Yeah, it's a Troyer Cemetery.
Troyer, but not, I don't think it was Manuel. Now, she was a missionary in Africa for years and years, and she'd come home on her furlough. Oh, everybody was just crazy to hear her tell about the Africans.
Who's
And
that?
she had Irma Berkey. She never married. She was a missionary for years and years, and she would tell the stories. Interesting. She made it. She knew how to tell them that people would just be spellbound at what she told. She told about the. Of course, in those days they didn't have cameras and have pictures, but she could really make you see them. That's my sister Esther, and that's where we lived over there across from
That's
Moore's.
Kenneth's mother that we met last night.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we didn't meet her, we met Kenneth.
Kenneth's.
That was our
Yeah,
old
we met
corn
Kenneth.
crib, and there was our old garage. My father was always overhauling the car in there. And here's where the thing is, and they had a thing up here to fill the corn crib, and you drove the horses round and round and round, which is what made that thing go up and up and up. Did you? I bet you never saw any
Was
of
that
it.
an
You never-
auger to take things up?
A team of horses working the dump.
Going around in a circle and
Around the circle, and the wagon was going up and up and up, and the corn was going down into this track that went up into the. Oh, you got me doing these motions.
how'd they transfer
And then
from the horses going in a circle? They go up above and over the horses?
Oh no, there was a gear there. They stepped over this tumbling rod.
Okay, they had to step over it.
Yeah, there's a gear there, and another gear going on the ground, a line going over run the dump.
Okay. Well, I've seen those where they now put an engine
Well, sure,
on the dump.
now.
Yeah, but it was set up so that there was a bar going out to something else to make it work.
Yeah, see, we had horses going round and round there, and I was one
Well,
of
the
them that
horses,
would
they
ride.
just tied them to
Yeah, but
the
then
thing
there was
ahead of
sometimes you needed to find, they'd stop. Well, anyway, and the wagon was going up and up with this thing. The horses were going round and round, and the corn went down the thing, and that had little shovels that the corn.
Is that Uton? Is that at Uton? No.
Now this is a mile east to Uton and about a mile north, where we lived. That place. That's where my father. Right next to that's the pig pen, where I had my playhouse.
You had your playhouse in a pig
My
pen?
playhouse. It was a building, pigsty. That's Louise Madsen. Now she's the one that's 10 years older than me. She's 83.
What page is
She's
that?
forever cleaning house. 53. Cleaning house. Every time I call her up, she's cleaning house. And she lives there alone. Doesn't have much company at all.
It doesn't have much to do except clean her house, probably.
I told her I need her here. And that's Uncle Will and Aunt Mary and Mama and Papa, which is 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
54.
And that's,
Her parents had a couple on the right.
yeah, that's Papa and Mama. That's Uncle Will and Aunt Mary. And that's my brother Clarence and Chester and Freddie and Earl. That's the boys. That's these people's boys.
And who's the girl there?
That's Clara, my oldest sister,
Okay.
Donald Winkle's mother.
Okay.
She was always a little heavy set.
Is she the one who's dead now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so is Esther, right?
it. No.
No, she's still living.
Where's she living
Nobody-
out? Does she live out with Kenneth?
Oh no, in Denver. She's got a house in Denver.
Uncle Wayne died. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Now that's my father, Henry, and Uncle Will. These 2 guys. Leaning against a corn crib, visiting.
Page 55, Henry's on the left.
And that's at our house. Must have been the same day. These must have all been
Which
taken the
one's
same
you?
day.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, Grammy is the short child in the front. There are 2 little ones in
And
the
that's
front.
Earl.
She's on the left.
That's Earl. So see, Clara's got the same dress on as here. So these are all were taken in one day. And that's Freddie. He's the one that died. Chester, Clarence, Clara, Esther.
Turn that radio down.
That's all of us kids. And it could be turned off. Turn it plumb off.
Is this you again?
That's Earl and me playing horse and buggy,
wagon.
horse and wagon. I'm driving him. I've got some strings in my hand there, like the horses. He's the horse.
Page 55,
He would
right.
stomp his foot and go.
Grammy's the child on the right.
Well, you can tell me. Me as a girl.
You is.
Well, from his coat and hat, he could be a girl.
And that's the 3 Model Ts that belong to the 3 Myers, Papa and Uncle Will and Uncle Gus. This is that same place. I bet it was the same day. See, there's that garage door open.
That looked like about 1920, 21 Model T.
For those cars?
Yeah.
Probably
All
about
the-
when it was.
They got storm
Because, see,
tops
I was
on.
born
They
in
didn't have a
1950,
sedan. They had
and
to buy
I'd
touring car and
6 or 7 years old
put
on
a
those pictures,
storm
maybe
top
less.
Oh, okay, so you had to add the top.
Yeah, they didn't have tops in days.
That's my brother Clarence, and I don't know which team of horses that was. We had Minnie and Pearl, and
Clarence, when I knew Clarence, he was always heavy set. He
Oh.
wasn't when he
yeah,
was
but
a
he
kid.
wasn't when he was young. He was, oh, Lucille said like a movie star. Then he got fat. Well, let's see. That's Georgie. He died young from appendicitis, yeah. And Clarence, and Esther, and who those two are, and that's Clara. That's me. I'm always the little one down in the middle. I don't know who those kids are. Now I tell you, they used to have kids out of Chicago. What did they call them? They'd come in the summer for a week or two, and people would take them in on farms. They had a name. The Mennonite Church did. And I'll bet that's who these girls are. I just bet they are, because they'd have other
In fact,
kids.
there was one picture further back that said that 4 girls from Chicago, or 4 kids from Chicago.
I'll bet
And I didn't know what
yeah.
exactly that meant.
And people would take them in. Now my parents never did take them in because they didn't have room, but Aunt Rosie did. Now this is Gus's front yard, I'm sure.
That's the house where Freddie used to live. It's gone now.
Yeah.
He lived there. Gus Meyer lived there for years.
Help.
I don't know any idea who they are.
What page?
58.
58.
Must be relatives, huh? Maybe.
I don't have any idea who they
They're all
are.
lined up, tallest to shortest.
Anything labeled on it, on the picture itself?
Tall gal looks like he's a nurse.
Oh, I think they're all got white dresses on, white stockings. That's the way they used to dress back in them days. He's got these knickers on, this big boy.
Yeah, back them days you got long
Well,
pants.
this was a birthday party at Lyle Sharp's. And that was a bunch of the kids from Pickett School that went there for a birthday party at Lyle Sharp's. And I'd say probably that was our Papa's car. And he brought most of these kids there, I'd guess.
Is that Mom? No? Who?
59 is Georgie and Harry Meyer. They're both passed on. Georgie's the one that died young. That's his grave right beside him there. And Harry lived, oh, well, he's been dead a long time too, because Clarence went to his funeral. I didn't. Clarence and, I think, Chester. Well, let's see.
60?
Page 60, but whose place is that, Harvey? It's out here someplace.
His or was.
Yeah, well,
I would say was.
Was, probably.
I don't know.
Floyd Schwen. Remember those Schwens used to go to East White Oak? And Julia Bloom. Why we've got that picture, I don't know.
Julia Bloom is
Well,
Aunt
that's
Julia?
Bates.
Julia Bates, okay.
Bates. It's got all those, had all those kids, you know,
Yep.
and they're living in Westminster.
That's a schoolhouse.
No, it ain't.
Okay.
It's a house in town. I think that might be Bertha Kinner's house, where she lived once downtown. But it was closer to
62.
than that.
63 is a picture of President Harding. I want that.
On
My
a
mother.
newspaper.
My mother put it in there, I'm sure.
Did she like President Harding?
I have no idea why she put it in there. All this, my mother put the pictures in. I'm the one that did the scribbling on them.
Oh.
There's a Basting. That's one.
Yeah, that's
There's
Dorothy.
a Basting.
Dorothy Basting, Mabel Moore, and May Moore. Those two are twins, and that's Fern Basting, Ruth Basting.
No,
That's Bright.
that looks like Shad.
That's Fern Basting and Ruth Basting.
Okay.
Believe me, here's Edna and May Shad. There's
I'll believe you.
This is
a mini Basting.